10 matches, 3 hours to be played out is what these players had today. Once again, there's 250 duos competing, 5 lobbies at the same time, all in the hopes to get series points to qualify them to the lower or upper bracket of the semifinals. We said it, Jacob, if they're able to get around 130 points, it puts them in a good position for the second qualifier. More than that, an even better position. So for Marius and Sandguild, they're feeling incredibly happy currently. And it's all about maintaining that. As I thought for a second, there was some aggression coming through this duo, but it looks like they just want to box up by them. I think.
I mean, it could be a good or a bad thing regardless, because Marius and Sandguild, you know how aggressive of not only individuals, but of a team they are. If they feel like they have an advantage, they can see it as a green light and go. Banyak, Swizzy. There you have the Brawlers battleground loot, and you see them hiding towards the side. And the only question I really have is if they do have that medallion, I feel like Sammy and his duo can kind of spot that there's somebody around this position that they have to watch out for.
Looks like Trip is actually going to be able to bring Fredoxy back into the match. 5 elims already for this duo. Swimming through the river of sticks, making it a lot quicker of a rotate. But they're actually going away from the zone here. What are they going back for is my question.
My biggest assumption, I know there's a bunker in that direction, or would be Fredoxy's old loot to try to get as much back as possible. And obviously the underworld dashes, the charges that you get from the river sticks over towards Grimgate in this area of the map altogether. And you can see that without too many heals being found, some bandages, some floppers, they're going to have to go ahead and beeline their way to zone and not waste any time. Otherwise, they might be in shambles.
I was looking at Chari. I was like, where's your duo? Where's Giraz? Unfortunately, he's watching from the clouds right now. As Chari now is forced to play this last match out as a solo. The last opportunity to make something happen in the first qualifier. How many series points will they be able to pick up? Decent amount of loot. Could be better, could be worse. Not too bad at all. In terms of damage, hopefully they have enough, but for Steno, in a 1 versus 2, it's not going to be as bright as he goes down.
Yeah, unfortunate elimination there. Just really getting caught off guard. The 2 players that are trying to jump into your box. And then you saw there at kind of the ending portion of that battle, another team spraying on the other side of the box, really not having any avenue of safety there in a situation like that. And you can kind of see why they're forced to break into the box the way they did. 37 damage above the threshold, and that's after the elimination. So they probably weren't in the best position. And that now, even though it's only 37 damage, they at least have a little bit more time to work with before they make their next move.
Taking a look at more engagements here. Most likely duos that need some damage. That's it, 37 below. Specs. What are you going to be able to find here? Thunderburst SMG getting put to use, trying to get in. No connections yet, except for on his duo partner that's almost cracked now. It's brought up to 26 above, but how long is it going to last? Pressure from above, pressure from below, from the sides. As they have to make a decision of where they want to start aggressing towards soon.
Time is definitely ticking, especially with Zone pulling away from a lot of the players here on this side of the map. So even though they know their job isn't done just yet, trying to see what they can get, because I do believe that they're hearing a lot of those shields get cracked. They're hearing a lot of the heals come out, and this is their opportune time to kind of strike while the iron's hot. They know their opponents are weak, but now they fall below the damage threshold, and it makes it even more of a risky play because all they really have left is minis.
67 below exactly. Minis getting popped to try and outlive this Storm Surge. 62 players still up. So many players kind of exactly boxed up around them. You can even see some angles there. 51 damage. Is that enough? It is. 79 above now. No more ticks coming through, but shots from above. It's the opponents who take down his duo partner. 1v2 now. Scroll Sky looking to clean it up quickly as Zone is closing. At least they can pick up the finish here and hopefully make their way through Zone.
That's Specs on the other side. Kind of the last-ditch effort to get some sort of elimination and quickly pop heals. He doesn't get that chance, and he goes down all the same. Sky and Scroll taking advantage of not only one, but two different teams along their rotation, and now they get to freely continue to move forward. Tripping in for Doxy, putting themselves on a lonely island by themselves, which honestly I would say is probably a very, very risky situation for 99.9% of the lobby, but then having the dash coin gives them a little bit more feeling of confidence that they can position themselves on an island with so much open water, and knowing no matter which direction it pulls, they can dash their way to safety.
And look at that. Ended up pulling north, so they do have to dash their way back to safety on that little path, that little sand path they have, but hopefully with the dashes, they'll take a safer route, maybe the edge around the water, but it's all up to what they're feeling. They have one duo around them. I thought it was a solo originally when they were gliding on in, but his duo partner was already kind of based up on this island, so they got to pick their path correctly here, because a beeline, you can see how many duos already boxed up. They're just going to be applying a bunch of pressure onto them when they try and rotate in. Are they going to wait for the players below them to rotate first? Are they going to dash around the west side? There's even a duo on the west side and the east side, so all options are kind of blocked off here. It's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, I think the choice that they're looking for right here is waiting for some of those other teams to begin to rotate in, cause a little bit of distraction, and then use their dashes because they can cover distance quick. And then you combine that with the threat of the sniper rifle and Fordoxy. You can quickly get some quick scopes on anybody trying to land those shots, and immediately they see that opportunity and they take it.
Boxed up. All it took was 2 dashes. Grouped up once again. Actually went very well for them. As Marius Sangild now 130 above. Not too bad at all, especially with 2 elims. As they are kind of more on the edge of the zone here, though. Just kind of looking for some shots.
See him peeking towards the back. Trying to be proactive when it comes to Storm Search. You don't want to wait till you're below, getting ticked every couple of seconds to try to make a move, especially when you're stacked with heals and got a lot of builds. Trying to see some players climb up the side of the mountain. With that Thunder Burst is very good at one of those 3 bursts, bleeding through the builds and at least landing some damage. And if you continuously do that, a little becomes a lot. As Marius and Sangild watching out at every turn. They know one more team's back there and just waiting for them to follow that zone in before they try and strike.
91 above now, just getting lower and lower. As the pressure will get heavier and heavier onto their shoulders, but one shot came through. I think Sangild actually picked up that elim. Good job. Fordoxy trip, though, getting right into the aggression here on the edge of a ridge. You got to be careful. Difficult to build here. Could get stuck as Zone also pulled to the opposite side, northeast. Incredibly far rotate. Good news is the dashes will help out a lot. You can see them splitting it, dropping it to each other so they can both have 3 dashes. As well as that Flowberry Fizz to recuperate that shield and also give them that mobility boost.
Trying to look how long it's actually taking him to kind of rotate comparison to everybody else. But Tripper gets knocked down, so no matter if he makes it to the other side or not, he's going to have to do it as a solo, which honestly doesn't give me too many worries because already today alone, we've seen Fordoxy clutch up and pick up a huge amount of points by himself.
Trying to remember if Fordoxy already dropped the medallion or if he picked it back up. He hasn't recharged the dash yet. It would be crucial to clutching it as a solo, and it looks like he's even knocked down his opponent. It was Trip that had the medallion, but he's got it back. He said, that is mine. Give it back to me. 4 elims now. Dashes will be recuperated, and this is actually so huge for clutching it out as a solo.
Yeah, it's going to give him like another shot at life, but he has to be able to make it up this mountain. There's a lot of builds already there that kind of keeping him out instead of giving him a smooth rotation, but quick thinking, quick moving from Fordoxy. Hasn't even really used the dash yet, but positioning himself well, and you can see what he's looking for. He's trying to pounce and sneak up on somebody, find the elimination, and get a huge refresh in those materials, but most importantly, the HP heals that he can grab.
Marius and his duo partner still with 3 elims. They picked up that solo earlier on, but how much damage have they done? They were on the borderline. Can they maintain it now? As Fordoxy has made it in. He knows there's a duo close by, trying to see if he can open up a shot onto them. 50 builds to work with. Dash is getting recuperated. More than enough damage, but what he wants is that impact. You said it yourself, that refresh as Marius gets ahead of zone.
78 above. Do need it. About 10 or so players needing to go down, even less now as a couple of them do fall. Boko and Vortexers doing a good job using their own underworld dashes along with the Flowberry Fizz, trying to make it to the front side. But while all that's going down, Boko and Vortexers get separated, leaving Boko by himself to kind of finish his battle here and try to take first place on the day.
358. Flowberry Fizz in hand. No time to pop it, though. I believe I see a dash there that he's been able to conserve. Prodoxy, though,
Shots.
looking confident. There's a knock on the ground. He gets the elim. Refreshed up now, 30 builds. Still has full dashes. Gonna be used to get ahead of zone. Build up. 2 medkits as well. This could be a huge solo clutch.
Every single player and team that goes down, he's just getting so many more points for the placement. There goes 2 more. Sky and Scroll trying to do the same thing, but a much healthier position. 3-2-1, trying to break in the box. Boko finally been found. No more game of hide and seek, but he narrowly escapes. Sky and Scroll didn't want to go on the cat and mouse chase, so they back up into their own box, and that gives them a chance to live to tell the tale.
27 HP on Prodoxy. He has that medkit in hand, though. Issue is only 1 build to work with. It's going to be Sky, though, and Scroll, who are looking to take height. Can they capture it, though? The battle is on. So far, they are looking like the victors of high ground, but can they hold on to it? Can they maintain it with the amount of materials they have? I think they can do it.
It's definitely a possibility as long as anybody doesn't want to play Disruptor and look up. Prodoxy's still going through a tough situation. Taking some damage to the stone, try to go ahead and catch somebody off guard. Nice shot's gonna be there, but it's not enough. Gripe is able to take him down, but the medallion hasn't been snatched up just yet.
2 medkits, 1 being popped here. Want to make sure they're healthy for these last moments. There's only 6 duos up, 11 players. Not too many solos at all. As Sangild is going to get cracked here, forced to pop some minis. Duo partner has the medkits though. Gripey now, going to take shots, going to get a crack, but it's not going to be enough. Marius taking him out.
Whether he grabbed the medkit or not, it does look like he's finally going back for it. He's taken all that sacrifice so that way he can get the heals on over to Sangild, the Scroll and Sky, the only other duo in this lobby that is looking strong. Nova, I do believe, might still be left alive, but I don't see him anywhere. His own heal off, possibly starting early, finally at the tail end of the zone. If he can figure out a way to stay alive, everything comes crashing down. Scroll and Sky are now going on the offensive. Marius gets knocked down. In comes Nova out of nowhere to try to get those placement points.
The 2v2, high versus low, quickly ends. The upper hand comes from the high ground team. Now the 2 versus 1, it's all up to Nova. He started his own heal off, but he has to get 2 elims to come out on top and is going to be unable to do so. Great finish for the duo above.
Even though he didn't win that game, you gotta give credit to Nova there. Knowing the situation, had no builds, couldn't move forward. He staggered himself just enough to secure a top 2 finish. But Scroll and Sky, the story of the game goes to them. They fought so much adversity to make it to that game, but as soon as they achieved that high ground, it was over for the lobby.
Great way to finish it out. We can see how Scroll here took out one, shortly after took out the other. I mean, Sky and Scroll, they had the chemistry. They were looking electric together, taking out one after the other, and then all it took was that 1 versus 2 to close it out. They had medkits, they had the heal off, but they didn't even have to use it.
Yeah, another big moment there. And now that the day is done, I know we still have to look at the leaderboards, but that's got to be a huge feeling of confidence as they surge. They're probably looking through the tab. Where do they finish? It's all about those series points, Takata.
It's all about those series points, but that's it for me and Jacob for the day. We'll be back for the next qualifier, but we still got to see what happened to the leaderboard, Jacob. So let's head right on over to Frankie, Levin, and Minnie. What you got for us?